Hey guys, Pink again. So I am recording today because I've had a few requests. The big one from Braden, who was asking for a tutorial on how to set up your own Minecraft server. So that is what I'm going to walk you guys through today. We're going to look at a couple of different methods and really just do the entire thing from scratch. So here we go. The first step is to get the server files. So you go to Minecraft, download. I usually just Google it to get there quickly, and you do the minecraft.net/download. So if this is going to be mostly for Windows, I haven't run one on OS X, but later method will also work on Linux-based operating systems. But for Windows, you want to just download this Minecraft server.exe. This will work for most of your needs unless you want to run a server with a few more people on it. So keep that in mind. I actually don't use this one. I use the server.jar even when I'm on Windows, but we'll go over that after. So first thing is you download it. And so then you want to show it in folder. And here we have Minecraft server. So we're going to move it. Just do a quick cut and let's see. Make a new folder. Example server. Boom. So you want to put it into the file where you want, or excuse me, folder where you guys want your server files to be. Now, real easy, to start the server, double click run, and you can see this is the Minecraft server screen. So it shows your log of, this will show the chat and who's online and if there's any errors. This gives some information regarding the server and how it's running, and then down here will be it'll show the online players. We don't actually want to use this yet, so we're going to put stop in there, and that stops the server. And what we want to do is go into here. This is the server properties file. Some people might see it as server.properties, something like that. What you want to do is open it, and the way you do that is open it with a notepad file, program. So I'm going to, for the sake of this, I'm just going to do a regular old notepad that comes basically installed. First thing we want to look at, I'm not going to run through all of these property files. You can look them up online. The Minecraft wiki has information on all of them. First one is the level name. So we're going to change this. You don't want to change this more than once. You want to change it the first time you run your server and then have it be the same every other time. So this is going to be what people see when they try to log on to your server, as well as how it's saved. So for this, I'm just going to name it example server. And so again, I'm not going to go through all of these, but server IP, don't mess with that. Don't mess with the server port. Whitelist is if you want to have a whitelisted server. Make sure online mode is true. It should always be true. PvP is if you want battles to be able to happen between players, so turn that to false if you don't want people fighting. Difficulty, a difficulty of 0 is peaceful, 1 is easy, 2 is normal, and 3 is hard. Max players is how many players can log on to your server. Limit that if you don't have the best machine. And the last one is message of the day, Motd. This will be what is shown on the server screen when you go to connect to a server. It'll say the name of the level name, so it'll say example server for us, and then the message of the day will be displayed below that. So we're going to say we're running a Minecraft server. Okay, so now you want to save it, so you can click Control S or just hit save and exit out of that. Next, delete this world file and open up Minecraft server again. So as you see, now the preparing level is example server, and that is actually now the file that we just made in our server properties. So if we go to Minecraft and launch it, there's two ways that we can now connect to the server that we have. One, you want to do not direct connect, add a server. So the server name is, again, we can just put in example server and that'll show up. And then the server address is there's two ways, like I said. The first one that we're going to do is if you're on your own machine running the server and running Minecraft, just type in local host. Oops, host. And boom. Beautiful. It's running. So now we start in a nice, beautiful snow biome. The other way to connect is if you go to Google and you type, what's my IP? It'll give you this, 72.19.87.123. So if you go into Minecraft, go back to multiplayer and edit, we're going to do 72.19.87.123. This is going to be the IP, not this particular one. What Google gives you as your public IP address is what you're going to give to people so they can connect to your server. Really important that you always get that one right, or else people won't be able to connect to your server. Double click and boom, we're in. But like I said, this is only for Windows and might not suit everyone's needs. So I'm going to now show you how to do a different version of this. So again, we're going to issue that stop command, which kills the server, and we're going to go back to the Minecraft download page, and we're going to get this Minecraft server.jar, J-A-R. So click that, and we're going to say keep, and we're going to show it in the folder again. And again, I'm going to move it to our example server file, and so you want to drag that over. So in order for a jar to work, you need to make sure that you have the correct form of Java installed. Let me see. Nope, I don't have the file. Oh, yes, JRE7 is what we're on now, and we want the Windows version and 64-bit. It's really important if you're running a 64-bit operating system, which you should be, if you want to be hosting your own server, you definitely need to make sure you get that. So what we're going to do is Google for JRE7 and 64-bit. So this is going to bring us to the Java SE Runtime Environment 7 downloads. And if you look here, Windows 7, 64-bit. If you're on a Linux, you want to obviously get the Linux 64-bit, but and usually you get the tar.gz. But for us, we're going to get this Windows 7 64-bit. And you just click it, and it'll download. I already have it, though. And when you double click it, it'll walk you through the installation process. I'm not going to install it now. I already have it installed. Oh, geez, I double clicked it, though. Anyway, we'll go back to our example server. So now that we have that running, we need to be able to open it. Cancel. One way to open it is you can just simply open with Java Platform SE binary. I don't want to do that, and neither should you. So if you go to the start menu and type in CMD, that'll bring up the control panel. Command prompt. On Linux, there's different ways to do this. I know on Ubuntu, you hit Control Alt and T all at the same time. It'll bring up a command prompt. So how we do this is, actually, I need to move this because this isn't on my C drive. Give me one sec. We're gonna move this to my C drive so I can show you how to do this easily. My documents, paste. Okay, so we're on the C drive, and here is the server. So what we want to do is type cd for current directory, and the easiest way is just take your folder and drag it over the window and release, and it'll put in the path to that folder. You hit enter and see now it's in C users Kyle documents example servers. So we go here, and now we have this executable jar file. So what we're going to do is type in the following. Java, that tells it that we're using Java to launch this, and we're going to do /jar, or excuse me, -jar, not slash, that's a slash, and type in Minecraft underscore server dot jar. So that's referencing this file here, Minecraft underscore server, and it's a jar file, so dot jar. You hit enter, and boom, there's our server. Now it's running on Java instead of as an exe. But we have a few different things that we can do with this. So now, instead of, or the main use of this is that we can assign more memory. So before the jar, you want to put dash big X, then ms, and then you want to put the value of how much memory, which is your RAM, you want to give to the server. So when I run the Mogswamp fan server, I'm running it on 4 gigabytes of memory. If you have a very powerful computer like mine, you'll be able to do that. You're going to have to do research and see how much memory your system has, but you don't want to give it all. So my system has 16 gigabytes of memory, so I'm able to give it a lot. But if you only have 2 gigabytes or 4 gigabytes, you're going to want to give it less. So if you have 2 gigabytes, maybe only give it 1 gigabyte of memory to run the server. If you have 4, you can maybe do 2. But you're going to have to look into it and find what value works. So for me, I'm going to do 4096 and then big capital M. So that's giving it 4096 megabytes of RAM, which is the amount of megabytes to 4 gigabytes. Then I'm going to do, again, dash big X MX, so that's the max, and do 4096 again with a big M. So now when we launch, we're going to be launching it with 4 gigabytes of memory. So we hit enter and boom. Now we're running a whole lot of memory. And if you see here, we have 123 megabytes in use, but only using, it's only using 2%, 3% of the total memory allotted. So that's allowing a lot more people to join the server and also hopefully not lag as much. One last thing I'm going to show you is if you go up here and do, I believe you do a dash no GUI. Oh, no, that's not correct. Let's see. Oh, no dash. So you do .jar, server.jar, and then type no GUI afterward. It won't put up that window. So you won't be able to see who's online using this, but it won't use up as much resources having to show that window. It'll have everything in this simple text-based command prompt. So if you're really squeezing yourself for resources to make sure that this server is running really smoothly, that's something that you're gonna definitely want to take advantage of. And then you can type commands into here as you would normally. So save all, I just saved the world, stop, I stop it. So yeah, that's how you run a server. If you want to run a bucket server, maybe I'll do a tutorial for that later, but there's a few different changes. One thing to keep mind of, as we saw in our server properties file, see this server port 25565. Some people might need to do what's called port forwarding. This is where you go into your router settings and allow this port to be used. A lot of routers will have this, or will allow you to use this and will allow you to host the server on 25565, but if not, you're going to have to go into your router and change that manually. I can't show you how to do that currently. I'm at university and I don't have access to my router by any means. And so I'm just lucky enough that that port is already being forwarded. There's going to be a lot of really good tutorials already out there, but if you guys can't seem to get a hang of it, I'll try and record that maybe this weekend if I have a chance, if I can go home, I don't know. Or maybe I can even get Purple/Mogswamp to record that for you guys, but hopefully that won't be a big issue for most of you. Anyway, I highly recommend running the Minecraft server just because you can give more memory to it. So as you see here on the Minecraft page, it's giving 1 gigabyte. 1024 megabytes is 1 gigabyte of memory. Some tips that I have for making sure you run it more smoothly. Make sure see, like I said, I have a really powerful computer, so I have a whole lot of things open, but yeah, like I'm using almost 8 gigabytes of memory right now because I'm recording. But if you are really strapped for memory and CPU usage, make sure you don't have a lot of applications open. Close a lot of those if you can. Close some of these that aren't going to be vital to your computer running. If you don't know how to do that, don't close things. Research it first. You can do a lot of damage to your computer. But having a strong computer is very important. Having a good internet connection is also important. So if you go to speedtest.net, it'll bring this up, and you can actually test your internet connection. And so I'm gonna begin the test, and you guys will be able to see I have a pretty solid internet connection. Ping, you want that really low. 7 milliseconds is a pretty good ping. Download speed is hovering around 14 meg, which isn't bad. And then upload speed is pretty important because you're going to be uploading data to the server, which then people are downloading. So you want a good upload speed. Luckily, I have a pretty solid upload speed at my university as well. Wow, 12 meg. I wasn't expecting that. So that's pretty good. 12 meg. So just test it yourself. See what you have available. You're going to need a good processor and a lot of memory, especially if you're going to run a lot of people. If you guys remember, I think we actually had over 20 people on the server the other day, and that's because I have plenty of memory and a powerful processor that I can use those resources. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, or you can also try and find me on our Mogswamp server at sometimes. Also, if you go to the Mogswamp page and do Google Analytics is loading. Sorry, close that. If you go to the FAQ page and look at here, how can we contact you guys? You can email us there as well if you need help. And also, please make sure to share this with your friends if you know anyone trying to connect a Minecraft server. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys around. Thanks for